Scrub is a fine bump a dime. Right? Y'all got that? Are you here? Hello, hello. Also known as a buster. Sorry, I got that No Scrubs song in my head right now. Um, not exactly directed to anybody in particular, but if you are watching, you do know who you are. Oh, wow. Some stories, it's just like you just cannot make this stuff up. And that's what happens with the tarot. It's like, the stuff comes out, it's totally reflecting your energy, and it's like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. But yet, here we are. So, don't sweat it, collective, if, maybe this week hasn't gone exactly as to plan. But, so for Groundhog Day, I don't even know. Did you see a shadow? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I read somewhere that we're actually supposed to get an early spring, which would be awesome. So, not getting lost in the sauce, huh? And that's what the karmics tend to do, because the karmics let all that type of stuff go to their head, don't they? Whereas the collective knows better. The collective understands. Collective knows how to appreciate things, be grateful for things, especially because your luck can change at any moment in time. Um, and none of us in particular can predict the future, right? As much as we like to look into the future, even with tarot, we really don't know what's going to happen, okay? Five of Swords. Wow, right in the base, too. So I am doing a shock style reading for you guys today. So collectively, yes. A betrayal, lies, falsehoods, um, somebody maybe even getting too big for their britches and then trying to keep up appearances with what exactly, that's the thing too, is like, especially people like to play, the social media game, and it's like, they think like, well, oh, I so and so was posting a picture of their new car, like I feel like I need to get a new car, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, where and then people end up like going broke because they can't afford, like, you don't want that new car to end up getting repoed, right? Like, so ask yourself, is it really worth it, versus some kind of validation that you think you're going to get either from your family, from your friends, maybe from the opposite sex even, right? A lot of people use things like that to try and appeal to people, to show their success. However, that can also attract you to people who are only interested in material things and not really, the work that it even remotely takes to get to that point. And I think that's what we're finding out here, is that, some people just don't want to work that hard. They just don't. And if that's the case, their level of success and your levels of success, collective, are going to be two different things. Okay? So that is something that you could be finding out now, where it was like foundationally you thought it was very strong, but over time what happened is you realized that the other people do not have the type of honor you do. They are not as closely acquainted with the truth as you are. Okay, and being forthright with people, yes, following through on contracts, being there for others when you say you are going to be there. Maybe you're somebody who's very dedicated to your profession, and you're like, you are there, you know what I mean? Like every day that you're scheduled, like you are there, or for your clients, or whatever it is. And not everybody can handle the fact that maybe you are needed by the world and not just by that one other person. Because if you're, not giving them enough time, attention, right, then they start saying, well, but did you actually promise them 24/7 attention? No. And if somebody wants 24/7 attention from you, collective, they are probably not the person for you. So, take that all in with Five of Swords. So, in the sacral chakra, what do we have for this collective now? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, the Four of Swords here. So, This is kind of funny, because the Four of Swords is about rest, but it's appearing here in the sacral chakra. So for some of you, you may be like currently celibate, okay? When it comes to intimate activity, you may be just not accepting that kind of relationship at this time. Not to say that you're not meeting people, but you're just not, you don't have that kind of energy open, right? And it's almost kind of funny where, because the Four of Swords is not just a restful energy, it is more of a personal, closed off energy. So, um, if people thought that you having this downtime meant, or that you're doing the kind of the self-care thing right now, if they thought that that meant that they again got to come in then and just like dominate all your time, even like in the bedroom, like they are completely wrong. I mean, it could be like one of those things where, like you and your partner aren't on the same schedule per se for intimacy needs or wants, and like you're trying to sleep because you're really tired and the other person doesn't want to sleep, and something of that nature, okay, where they think you're just supposed to be open for business all the time, and it's like, wow, that's not exactly how life works. When you do line up, it's good, but it's kind of makes you wonder. It's like, is that person putting too much pressure on the other person to fulfill that need? And are there other ways of going about fulfilling some of those needs, say without going outside the relationship? However, with the Five of Swords here, that doesn't look too promising for what some of you have experienced, collective, okay? Um, but again, just because you're not like, flaunting or whatever, it doesn't mean you don't have the possibility. It just is like you have what people call self-control. And I know that's very difficult in our instantaneous, type society, our internet, dopamine hit, trained brains, right? Okay. So, people will tend to get pleasure from different things. But, how do I say this? Cultivating relationships, whether they are real or imagined, is something that people get that from. And if it's, kind of, again, all on one person, that's going to create, this kind of tower moment that's just completely unrealistic for sustainability, right? Okay. King of Swords, yeah. And cut the crap type thing, the King of Swords will. And especially if it impedes, like, their motivation, okay? So coming here in the solar plexus, I feel like that's really important for you, collective. Again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. You could be an Aquarian here in Aquarius season. So part of what drives you, okay, like you found in some of this rest period, right? Okay, when you've been able to focus on, you as a whole person, not just as a reflection of somebody else's time. Okay, right? Because you are your own person with your own private thoughts, wants, and needs, right? And the King of Swords here, specifically, I mean, and masculine energy too, not necessarily communicating that out, but definitely thinking about it, okay? And thinking about how that's going to make your life better, okay? The King of Swords isn't here to try and, dissuade anybody from doing anything. It's how to, almost go like at the, from like a logical perspective of connecting points A and B. What is the shortest distance between 2 points? It's a straight line, okay? If you've ever taken a geometry class, you will learn that, right? So it's not about, it's about achieving, okay, here. And in a manner, some people might feel a little put out, but again, if they were trying to get all of their fulfillment from a single thing, it's like, well, wait a second. What are you contributing to this? You know what I mean? Like, there's leaning on somebody and then there's depending on somebody like fully, that's kind of starting to get into the treacherous waters there. Yeah, the fool. And it could be a fool's errand to turn your love over to somebody that um, is not going to be able to reciprocate, because when they are always looking to you and leaning on you and all of that stuff, you never get that moment of rest for that personal strength, right? So if you are ever in need of somebody, kind of catching you here, as fools may need that assistance, who's going to be doing it? It's kind of like, don't look at the King of Swords for it, right? And that's kind of what they've already proved, like in a different way, okay? Whereas here, collective, your heart feels fully open and ready for this journey. But the people that have been in your presence so far have not lived up to the hype. So, you kind of got to get back into your King of Swords kind of more. Or if you are dealing with a King of Swords, okay, you may feel yourself kind of, how do I say, tapping into that, where it's like, is this necessary? Is this needed? You know what I mean? You're really approaching it from some logical angles. It's not just an emotional game here, okay? And kind of with the Fool in the heart chakra, that's almost what it feels like sometimes, like a game. And if there isn't any seriousness around the care, like the King of Swords can provide, then you get down into this Five of Swords again, where it was like, no, wait a second, where did we where did we go wrong? It's because that person maybe took your energy and said, wow, look at how cool that is, but then they didn't really know what to do with it afterwards. I've mentioned this before in readings. It's kind of like, when people will talk, they have the big talk, like, oh, if I ever got my hands on so and so, they couldn't ever turn me down or whatever. And it's like, well, exactly, what are you doing that's so great again? How are you making that person's life better? Or are you just wanting to be around them for the fact that they're them, and then that makes like you look good? Like, again, it's a it's not even an accurate reflection at that point. It's really a poor reflection, because it's only seen through what you can provide to that person. Um, yeah. But like, once they get filled up, for that moment, then it's like you're shut down and don't exist, okay? Queen of Swords. Yeah, so you may be having this discussion with somebody. It's like, look, if I'm out of your life, I'm out of your life. That's fine. Or making sure you understand who is actually in your life, right? And having that discussion. So if you have started to open your heart up, collective, here with the Fool card in the heart chakra, you may need to have that discussion with whoever you're dealing with, because this is a King and a Queen of Swords here. So communication is very open. Again, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It is Aquarius season. We have a lot of swords on the board. Okay. So let me take a sip here. I've been yammering on straight since I got into this reading. Anyway. So this Queen of Swords here, again, it may be need to, have the discussion of, oh, well, yes, I've been dating. However, now that you and I are also dating, do we want to continue dating other people, or do we only want to date each other, right? That would be the grown-up type of communication to occur. Now, again, in the past, people have had different kinds of expectations for that. So you know, if they're expecting, you know, monogamy or whatever, and you're not prepared to do that, then obviously it's going to end up sooner or later, right? Because even if you're the person that tries to hide that and say like, oh, well, I just want to have a backup plan, that backup plan's always going to be revealed. Okay, so you're either moving forward together here, and that's part of the fool's journey in this heart chakra, is taking that leap. It's like, do you want to actually be with somebody? You know, not everybody's cut out to want to be with a partner. And if that's the case, then, you know, maybe they're better off, you know, figuring things out alone. And, you know, even the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords have been known to do that. That doesn't mean that you're destined for a partnership, but if you are looking for the right one, then you definitely need to communicate about that. Okay. So I'm going to scooch these down here. This is getting a little crowded and need to get into the third eye, please, for this collective. Ooh, hope you all have had a good week though. So, you know, like I said earlier, if, you know, somebody just got so lost in this, like I say, lost in the sauce, you know, they just didn't realize how good they had it. And it's like, you know what? That's fine. They want to go and be in the sauce. They're free to go in the sauce. You know, like, I ain't stopping you. Seven of Cups. Yeah, talk about choices. And some of these people, that's what they want to do. They are free to go and do that. But then don't be surprised if, you know, the reciprocal action is also pointedly making sure that, you know, that King or maybe Queen of Swords is not part of your life moving forward. Okay. Whoever it may be, you know, you could be dealing, take what resonates as well. Okay. Because you could be like, well, I'm not really doing, but you know, and that's fine. Maybe this is more, that's more the call for you to speak about what you want. And part of manifesting what you want is to be able to speak it out loud. Maybe you know, you're somebody who needs somebody to be faithful about their intentions or honest about their intentions, you know. The Wheel of Fortune. In your crown. So that is quite nice. Yes. And I feel like this type of completion for you, collective, is going to be financially abundant for you. Okay. Yeah. Overall energy on the bottom here is the Knight of Pentacles, because again, when you are very, you know, the King and Queen of Swords are very interesting because they're both, you know, somewhat intuitive, actually, not just, you know, like how the King and Queen of Cups are very intuitive, but they still have intuition. But this is part of, you know, because they're very logical and understand things. They both have, you know, some wisdom guiding them here, and they operate, or, you know, peacefully here with these doves, although given the circumstance, they'll cut you out, right? And be like, excuse me, I don't even think you have a ticket to be on this ride. So let's, yeah, exactly. So, you know, you can go on down the line to any of these other cups over here that you want, and nobody's stopping you. And the collective has this option also. The thing about the collective is you know what to do with it and how to get there. Yeah, exactly. And that's why you get this people coming towards you, right? Because like, ooh, look at how shiny they are. And if I stand by them, it's like I'll get, you know, I'll shine in their reflection, right? Without actually doing anything. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to do some clarification for you guys. See what else this collective needs to know about the person or persons in their energy, please. Didn't I blow your mind this time? Didn't I? Oh. I think that they did that song in what movie? I can't remember the name of the group, but I'm pretty sure it was featured in Jackie Brown, I want to say. Anyway, let's go for this Five of Swords. What else the collective needs to know here in the root? And collective, I don't feel like you're necessarily like hurt by it. It's more just like, now you know, now we can do better, you know? Ace of Wands, and do better you will, and you're not going to be wasting any time about it. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So for you, if for you, there'll be no more sorrow. For you, there'll be no more pain. Is that the name of First For You? Christine McVie from Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, what was I talking about earlier? King Cups. So, this King of Cups may be the person who's coming in, you know what I mean? Like, kind of replacing the old, if you know what I mean. And again, somebody who's kind of more in touch. You're out of touch. Do, 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 do. Yeah, you're not going to be lost in this sauce. There's no way. You're actually going to be celebrated, right? And as you should. And again, this is what they couldn't handle. It's like they just couldn't handle your success. And for you to be focused on where you're going is exactly what you need to be doing, the same as you were before you met this person, right? Like, that never stops. That doesn't change. Yes, your lives may become intertwined, but that doesn't mean you stop growing. And that's part of this fool's journey here. So 10 of Wands. Yeah, maybe somebody was just like, they just gave up and they're just like, I'm done. I'm done growing. I'm done changing. I'm good right here. And you're like, well, wait a second. I still want to, like, like, I want to go visit like the Grand Canyon or something. Like, maybe you've never seen the Grand Canyon and you're like, so, you know, like, you don't want to do that with me? And they're just like, right? And it's just kind of like, oh, geez, what happened to my partner? You know, my partner in crime. Some of you may be realizing this right now. Thank you for the like. If you are new, please like the video. It helps spread the messages around, or subscribe to the channel. It helps very much. And as a reminder, this message is 100% free. So spread that good juju around. 8 of Pentacles, very business-minded. Yeah. I feel like whoever thinks or whoever got lost in the sauce and got out of touch, again, doesn't understand all the hard work that goes into actually creating things. Okay? Creating things, and not just from an artistic perspective, but, you know, like building a house. Like, what if this is the architect making the plans here and laying the foundation? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, some people can come into our lives when we're already successful and they think, wow, this is great. And it's like, yeah, but do you know what it took to get there? And again, you would hope or like to assume that people are coming to you when you're at a certain level, that they would understand this. But again, not everybody does. Going back to the message that I reiterated earlier, some people are only interested in those material things, and they have no respect whatsoever for all the hard work that goes into it. Now, wow. Queen of Cups. Bam. Guys, this is starting to get good here. Not only we have the King and Queen Source, now we have the King and Queen of Cups. So if your intuition has been guiding you towards making a new choice, towards visualizing a choice that fits with you and your values, this is it. This is, yes. Keep doing that. Just because there's nobody standing beside you doesn't mean that it can't happen, okay? But you have to be ready to meet the right people in those moments, okay? It may not be the people that you thought it was going to be. I mean, for some of you, this could have been somebody you actually like you were living with, married to, had kids with. I mean, like serious stuff, okay? But as we all know, not every relationship turns out as planned. That doesn't mean that you can't have a good relationship with somebody else. Not at all. And that's part of what makes people who are very successful targets, okay? So, and and I'm not going to say that everything is preventable and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, like money changes people. People get lost in the sauce. They forget about the day in and day out work. They forget about like what kind of guidance you collective may have been asking for this whole time of how to be more successful or how to turn these events in your favor, right? Instead of saying like, oh, my life is over, no, I'm never going to be happy again. No. You're taking your wisdom, your giant coin of wisdom that is going to be prosperous here. Okay. Okay. And the Emperor, the last reading I did ended with the Emperor. Wow. So we have a King of Swords, a King of Cups, and an Emperor. But this Emperor is falling on top of the Wheel of Fortune. That's right, baby. You know how to make the magic happen. And there's people that will be jealous of that. There are. But again, Knight of Pentacles, it takes forever, right? People be like, oh, they're an overnight success. And then you go and look them up and it's like, wait, they've released like 5 albums? Yeah. It's not like they just woke up one day and decided, oh, I think I'm going to do this. And then boom, you're successful. Does that happen sometimes? Sure. Is that the case for most people? No. And that's why there's a lot of people that just give up. They're like, I'm tired of fighting that battle. And some people, they don't visualize success. So, collective, if those people aren't on your, your pyramid here, your self-actualization pyramid, right? I mean, the Emperor no doubt wants to be successful, and they wouldn't be the Emperor if they weren't successful. Were they born into being the Emperor? Maybe. You've seen a lot. I mean, there's all sorts of gobs of stories about people that were born into wealthy families yet ended up penniless, practically. Why is that? Because they gave up. They coasted. Right? They never found that within themselves, that driver that says, I want to succeed. And sometimes going after things that a lot of people don't succeed at. Not to say you shouldn't try, but keeping a balanced mind about it, I think, is very important. And I think that's part of what's symbolizing here with the King and Queen of Swords, staying on the correct path. And then it's like you have this undercurrent here, okay? The emotional stuff coming in, somebody wanting to break through into those emotions of the collective. And not only that, making it passionate as well. So, but a lot of people can have that passion for you. That doesn't mean that you have to succumb to it, to entertain it, even to acknowledge it. you know? Anyway, I'm hearing that Rod Stewart song, If You Think I'm Sexy. You ever hear that one? If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, sugar, let me know. Yeah, that's what a lot of people around you are kind of saying right now, but you maybe have been like kind of holding back from that. And again, you're looking for more like this type of thing that's coming in towards you, you know? So if you're not this King of Cups, you definitely have it around you. Okay? People willing to consider like maybe, you know, what you even have to say or think, not just how you look on the outside, you know, not just your, you know, flesh that literally will rot off of your bones one day. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's going to live forever, folks. Nobody lives forever, okay? Whoo-wee. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I gotta see what's going on tonight. I was thinking about going and listening to some music. There was some that already started this evening. I don't know if I'm gonna get that way. Now that I'm into this reading, but you just never know. Dun, da, da, da. What else does this collective need to know, please? You know, sometimes you find out things that make you feel better, but nothing will come of this situation, void of course, Moon. Yeah. Um, if you've been worried about something, like don't. There's nothing will come of it. It, you know, it just is what it is, and now we know, right? Don't let pride get in your way. Yeah, I mean, for some of us collective, it may come across as like a failure, a rejection. You're very close to achieving your goal. But see, with every, you know, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Okay, now I'm going to choose to move forward again, but this time I'm going to, you know, just tilt my foot just this tiny way over here, and, you know, I'm not going to twist my ankle. What do you think about that? You know, so don't let pride get in your way of trying again. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's where so many people literally fail, right? In life. It's because they're like, well, it didn't work out. I don't want to try again. Okay, you're free to do that, but then don't complain about nothing ever happening to you or nothing ever changing in your life. Okay. So whatever the stagnation is that occurred here, again, nothing's going to come of that moving forward, right? It's you moving forward, okay? Don't let your past hold you back, literally. Check out your North Node as well, folks, okay? We have Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces here as well as Aries, and then the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius that I mentioned. Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, again with the Ace of Wands. I have Leo mentioned here, okay? Expect powerful change, yep. So, you know, once you cut out that fluff, okay, yeah, getting into your North Node, step out of your comfort zone, getting into your North Node, and yeah, it like might feel a little strange. But again, the King and Queen of Swords are very, you know, going on logic and intellect and, you know, communication. And it's like, well, if things are clearly stated, then, you know what I mean? And executed as well, right? Like that's why a lot of people fail on their gym goals, right? Because they're like, oh, they set these lofty goals and everything. It's like, but What is that day to day? How is that Knight of Pentacles looking day to day? Are they actually going to the gym 3 times a week, or did they just say they were going to, right? But if you actually do, then expect powerful change, right? Stepping up into Emperor mode. Yeah. Okay. I think that's all I have for you. Please manifest wisely. Until next time, please take care, like, subscribe, drop a comment if you feel inclined. If you want to order a personal reading, I do have an Etsy shop link and a PayPal link there below. So talk to you soon. Bye-bye.